Be able to point the honorable senators to the advertisement that was done by Guasco. At what page? Can you look at page 266 and confirm whether that is the advert you are talking about? Honorable senators, I'm referring again to volume 1 of the County Assembly's bundle of documents at page 266. Can you confirm that that was the advert?
Yes, on page 266.
Page 266?
Yes.
Thank you. So when your father approached you and advised you to apply for that vacancy, did he tell you that he had made any arrangements, or what was his advice to you in respect to that position?
So he told me to make an application for the job. He will follow it up with the deputy governor he will make an application. I do the application. He will follow it up with the deputy governor.
When you say follow up, what do you mean? What kind of follow up did he talk to you about? Was that conversation candid? And if it was, kindly tell the House specifically what your father told you the nature of the follow up would be.
By the time I was doing the application, I was still in Nairobi doing my business. Now, when I applied the interview, when I was called for an interview, when I went home, it's when I got to know the whole deal that the deputy governor will just help us secure the vacancy.
Okay. Yeah. How was the deputy governor supposed to help in securing the job vacancy?
I was informed that the deputy governor is in good terms with the management and the CEO of the Kisii Water and Sanitation Company, so it will be easier for any assistance.
For any assistance?
Yes.
Thank you. You have intimated that you were at the time working at your business in Nairobi. Kindly tell us what kind of business you were doing in Nairobi.
Personally, I was working with a company called Together as One as a marketer, and I had a joint business with my wife, which was a salon, stroke kinyozi. We were also selling this refilling gas cylinders.
Okay. Where was that business situated in Nairobi?
Our business was located in Ruai town, which was opposite Naivas supermarket.
Who was running that business?
My wife.
What is the name of your wife?
Evelyn Nyaboke.
Evelyn Nyaboke.
Yes.
Thank you. So subsequently to that, you did apply for the position?
Yes, I did.
Do you remember what date you applied for the position?
It was around mid-April.
Mid-April?
Yes.
And were you shortlisted as an applicant?
Yes, I was shortlisted, and I was invited for an interview.
You were invited for an interview?
Yes.
Confirm that what appears at page 267 is a schedule of appearances of shortlisted candidates. Page 35, sorry. Page 35 of the Deputy Governor's response. The document Honorable Senators labeled as DG at page 35.
Yes, these were the shortlisted candidates.
Confirm that that is the schedule of appearances for interviewees?
Yes.
Does your name appear in that schedule of appearance?
Yes, my name's at number 4.
Number 4?
Yes.
And what date was that when you're scheduled to appear?
It was the date. We did an interview on the 25th.
25th of which month?
May.
25th of May.
Yes.
Now, prior to the shortlisting and subsequent interview, did you make any other arrangements to secure the opportunity, the job opportunity?
So after, yes.
Proceed. What kind of arrangements did you make?
So after the interview, I was at home with my parents. So the DG called my dad, and I told him that he will help him secure the position. He called us to his residence to make those arrangements.
When you talk about his residence, where is that residence?
Around Keumbu.
One in?
Keumbu.
Keumbu is in Kisii County?
Yes.
So were you part of that meeting?
Yes, I was.
between your dad and the deputy governor?
Yes, I was.
Were you privy to the conversation between the deputy governor and your father?
No, we sat at a distance
Yes.
while the deputy governor and my dad had a talk.
Yes.
Yes.
And what did you understand was the outcome between the discussion between the deputy governor and your father?
It was an agreement that we pay the sum of 800,000 shillings for him to enable secure the vacancy.
What was the 800,000 supposed to do? And who were the beneficiaries of the 800,000 as per the conversation between your father and the deputy governor?
Initially, as I said, he said he was in touch with the CEO of Kisii Water and Sanitation Company, so he was the one who will enable us get the vacancy.
Are you referring to the CEO or the MD of the company?
Yes, the CEO or the managing director, the same.
The MD?
Yeah.
Correct. Thank you. Did you have the money at the time? Or if you had, how had you raised that money?
At the time of visiting, we were aware he will demand some amount. So on agreeing on the amount that we will submit, we had raised the money earlier before. I was operating a salon at Ruai. So after the interview, we were sure it was a guarantee that the deputy governor, being in his position, he was able to get us the job. So I and my wife, we sold the salon, which we are operating at Ruai. We sold the salon to Peter Mugai, the sum of 500,000 shillings, which is an agreement that we had sold the salon.
Is that the agreement appearing at page 256 of the County Assembly's bundle of documents? Honorable Senators, I'm referring to, again, the bundle of documents from the County Assembly, Volume 1 at page 256. Confirm indeed that that is the agreement between you, your wife on the one hand, and the purchaser of the salon?
Yes, this is the agreement.
Now, Dennis, tell us, was your wife part of this agreement? Did she concur with your sentiments and plan to sell the business so that you can secure a job opportunity?
At first, my wife was not in agreement, because now this was our lifetime savings for a period of 13 years. We had been in Nairobi for the period of 13 years. So this was our lifetime savings. So she was not of the idea that we sell the salon.
Yes.
But since this was an opportunity for us to shape our life, I had to beg with her, to plead with her, so that he agrees to use their money for the occasion.
So subsequently, she agreed for you to sell the salon?
Yes.
And when you sold the salon, do you remember what dates that was?
Yes, the agreement we wrote on the 25th. He paid us in 2 installments. The first installment was 200,000 shillings.
And you look at the agreement and confirm the actual dates. Was
Yes.
it 25th or 20th? Confirm from
It
the
is
agreement.
25th.
Confirm from the agreement. There is a date written beneath.
The agreement was done on 20th, but the first payment was made on 25th.
Correct.
Yes.
So the agreement was done on 20th.
Yes.
And the first installment was to be paid on 25th of April.
Yes.
Was that before or after the shortlisting?
This was after the shortlisting.
After the shortlisting.
Yes.
Thank you. And what did you do with the money immediately you got it from the buyer of the salon?
The money he gave us, it was in cash. We carried the money home. We gave it to our parents to keep us, to keep it safe for us.
Mr. Dennis
Yes.
Mukaya,
Yeah.
you are an accountant,
Yes.
and you are saying that you gave your parents money to keep for you.
Yes.
That does not sound very credible. Why would you feel the need to give your parents money to keep for you?
You know, at that time we were doing a clearance. I could say we were selling all our items from Nairobi to relocate to our rural home. At that time, we even went to an extent of borrowing from this mobile banking, from our bank accounts, because now my wife was the one operating the business. We were doing most of the transactions through my wife's phone number. So we even went to an extent of borrowing money from KCB account, from M-Shwari, so that we can raise the full amount. So we felt it better, it should be kept by our parents, because if we kept it, again, we could have gone to an extent of using the money. So it would not do the right purpose.
So you gave it to your parents because you felt you would have utilized the amount.
Yeah.
Thank you. What business do your parents do? What do they do for a living? When you talk about your parents, kindly talk about your father and your mother. What do they do for a living?
Okay, my father is a retired civil servant. He was working in the veterinary. He retired, but he has some business at home. He's operating an M-Pesa shop with a small retail shop at home.
He's operating an M-Pesa shop.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, was the money subsequently given to the deputy governor?
Yes, when the deputy governor requested the 800 Kenyan shillings, we were able to give him on the date of 28th. We gave him 500,000.
The 28th of which month?
28th of May.
28th of May.
Yes.
That was the year 2023?
Yeah, last year.
Where was that money handed over at? What venue was that?
My dad did a transaction of 250 from his account. Actually, it was 251,000 from his account to the DG's M-Pesa. And then my mother sent me 250,000 to my account, M-Pesa account, so that I could transfer the same to the deputy governor. So I transferred the sum of 249,000 Kenya shillings because of some transaction costs.
Kindly go to page 255 of the County Assembly's bundle of documents. Honorable Senators, I'm referring to volume 1 again at page 255. Honorable Senators, I'm looking at the second last transaction contained at page 255. Mr. Dennis, tell us about that transaction. Where was that money being sent to and from who, and what was the time? And which number was used to send that money to?
So this is my M-Pesa.
What is your M-Pesa number?
Statement.
Kindly read it out.
My M-Pesa number is 0725 487 300. So I did, after receiving a transaction of 250,000 from my mom, Anna Misati.
Do you have proof that you first received money from your mom?
Yes.
Kindly take us there. Look at the next page. The next page, Honorable Senators, is not paginated, but it's, if you flip, you will go to the next page. There is a page after 255. So, the very first transaction, or rather, Mr. Dennis,
Yes.
point the Honorable Senators to that transaction where money was sent to your phone from your mom's account.
the second page of my M-Pesa transaction. This is the first transaction which happened at 8 p.m. My mom sent me 50,000 Kenyan shillings. And again, he had in 7:51, he had sent the same amount of 50,000 to make it 100. And then the first, which was the first transaction, at 7:44, he had sent...
Just a little bit
yes.
slowly. Honorable Senators, I'm referring to the 4th, 5th, and 6th transactions appearing on that page. So you received first 150,000?
Yes.
At what time?
The first transaction I received at 7:44.
7:44 from who?
From my mom, which is 150,000.
Is the name of your mom?
Anna Misati.
Anna Misati.
Yes.
The second transaction?
Was at 7:51.
Yes.
50,000. And then the last transaction that my mom sent was at 7:51.
Again of how much?
Of 50,000 shillings.
And immediately after that, where do you transfer the money to?
So after I received the full 250,000 Kenya shillings, I transferred the amount from my M-Pesa's mobile number to the deputy governor's phone number.
How much money did you send to the deputy governor's number?
The first amount that I sent to him was at 8:33, which is 150,000.
150,000. Confirm the number that you used to send the deputy governor through his mobile number, kindly.
It's not clearly indicated, but it ends with 700.
Do you know his number? You have...
Yes, I had it in my phone.
You have quoted that number in your affidavit. Kindly, we can refresh your memory by looking at the affidavit. It is important for that number to be captured. Yeah, the mobile money that I used to send the DG, the amount is 0711-860700. Can you repeat that?
0711-860700.
What was the name that came out after you sent the money?
The name that came out is Robert Monda.
Robert Monda.
Yes.
All this time, were you in the presence of the deputy governor?
Yes.
Or you are away from him?
We were away from him, but in the same premise.
The same premise?
Yes.
And that premises is where?
His home.
His home?
Yes.
So how many transactions did you make to the deputy governor in total from your M-Pesa?
It's totaling to 249,000.
149,000.
Yes.
So the last transaction is the one appearing at page 255. Confirm that. The
Yes.
second last transaction.
Yes.
That again is from your M-Pesa
Yes.
to his M-Pesa.
Yeah.
Thank you. How did he receive the remainder of the amount, if any?
After leaving his residence, we had given him a sum of 500,000 Kenyan shillings. So the initial agreement that was we had to pay the 800,000 Kenyan shillings. So after leaving the place, we made an agreement that we shall deliver the amount the following day, which was on a Monday. Actually, we went in his place on a Sunday. So the following Monday, we could deliver the balance, which was 300,000, at his office.
His office.
Yeah.
But on that very day, did he receive any other amounts of money from any of the persons you were in the company of?
He only received the amount from my father.
From your father?
Yes.
Are you able to point us to that transaction where your father sent money to the deputy governor on the same day?
Second.
We are getting there, Honorable Senator. Just at page 64, 65 of the Deputy Governor's response, Volume 2.
Volume 2.
Volume 2 of the DG's response.
What response? for 2 hours.
Kindly show us the transaction where your father sent money to the deputy governor, appearing at page 65.
It is on page 65, on the same night of date 28th. My dad made actually 4 transactions. The first one was from this is a joint account, cooperative account between my dad and my mom. So the first transaction was 70,000. The second one was 70, and again he did a transaction of 70, and then later there's another transaction of 41. So it's totaling to 251,000 Kenya shilling.
What was the nature of this transaction? It reflects that it's from a bank. How was that payment done? From the bank to?
It was done from the bank to the M-Pesa account of the deputy governor.
Deputy governor?
Yes. But this now a different number than the one I used.
What number is that?
Yeah, this number is 0702 0000220.
Repeat that again.
It is 0702 0000220.
Who is the registered owner of that number?
It's registered to the deputy governor.
Deputy governor?
Yes.
That would total to how much? What you had given him and what your parents sent to the deputy governor?
It's totaling to 500,000 Kenya shillings.
500,000?
Yes.
Your allegation was that the ask was for 800,000.
Yes.
What happened to the balance?
We agreed on the following day, which was on a Monday, we bring the balance of the 300,000 Kenya shillings to his office, which is to the stadium, Kisii Stadium.
Thank you.
Yes.
Now, you have had the occasion to look at the response of the deputy governor in defense to that specific allegation?
Not yet.
You have not looked at it?
Yes.
I want to refer you to the deputy governor's response. What he said about why he had received money from you and from your father and what he did to it. I want you to look at that response. Paragraph 16. The deputy governor alleges that your father owed the deputy governor some money and that money sent from you and from your father and from your mother were towards repayment of that loan. What do you have to say to that line of defense?
Honorable Speaker, I can say that this is a lie, because if we look at the whole thing, I am included in this sending of the amount to the deputy governor. And if at all this was a debt that my dad was paying to His Excellency the deputy governor, then if we look at his account, cooperative account, joint account, the account holds more than what I sent.
Let's go back to that account now that you've raised the issue.
Yes.
How much did your mother and father jointly have at the time they were sending money to the deputy governor? And what was the balance after they sent money to the deputy governor? Honorable Senators, we are again making reference to the deputy governor's response.
So after my dad sent the last amount, which was 41,000, in his account balance, it was a balance of 1.3 million.
So your father still had some balance in his account?
It was a balance of 1.3 million. Indeed, if he was paying a debt, and this is a family, you could have done the whole transaction at a go.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
So I want to again to look at that response, and Dr. Honorable His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Kisii, alleges that he had loaned your father the amount of 600,000, some of which money had gone to pay fees for your child. I'm referring, Honorable Senators, at page 51 of the Deputy Governor's response. Page 61, all the way, page 5.
Which 5?
E5, it's E5. Had you received any money from your father that, to your knowledge, was an advance from the Deputy Governor that you paid school fees for your child with, that now that day you're refunding?
No.
Have you ever sought any assistance from your parents towards the education of your child?
Yes. This was after we had given the money to the Deputy Governor. We had sold everything we owed. Then we had gone back home. I was not in any financial position thereafter to take my daughter to school.
Mr. Dennis, I have perused through the statements and I have seen a number of transactions between your father and the Deputy Governor as late as January 2024. Money flowing from your father to the Deputy Governor and vice versa. Are you aware why your father would occasionally send money to the Deputy Governor and vice versa? Because his defense is that they are long-term friends and they used to loan each other money, and this was not an isolated case. What do you have to say to that?
Well, I cannot deny that they are long-term friends for a long period of time. Actually, it exceeds 30 years. The main transaction between my father and the DG is that my father is one of the officials of a circle that he leads at our home.
What is the name of that circle?
It is called Kebobora Women Group.
Kebobora.
Yes.
Yes.
That's now our locality. Is the treasurer. In many cases, in many occasions, the Deputy Governor borrows money from the circle through my daddy's name, then he refunds with an interest. That's generally the business they're doing.
Have been doing?
Yes.
But on this day, could it be one of such instances where the Deputy Governor had borrowed money and was being refunded to by your father?
No, it's not one of the days. As I stated earlier, if actually this was the borrowing and lending business, I am not an official of the circle. Then I was not entitled to make a transaction to the Deputy Governor through my mobile phone.
Did you have any other reason to visit the Deputy Governor's home on 28th of May? Apart from the business of giving him money for securing the job vacancy, did you have any other business?
No.
Have you ever been to the Deputy Governor's home at any other time?
No.
What then does your presence mean against the defense of the Deputy Governor that it was a repayment of the loan?
I was the owner of this all initiative. I was the one who was looking for employment, so I was to be there to witness what was going on.
Thank you.
Because this was my money.
Are you aware if the Deputy Governor ever transmitted any money to the target of the bribe?
Yes.
And who was that target?
The director of Kisii Water, after sending him the full amount.
What is the name of the managing director of Guasco?
Her name is Lucy Wahito.
Lucy Wahito.
Yes.
And a look at the document before you. Yes. Honorable Senators, I'm looking at page 99 of the DG's response. Page 99 of the Deputy Governor's response. is there any money sent to that very person, Lucy Wahito, the MD of Guasco, on that very day?
Yes, there's a sum of 100,000 Kenya shillings.
100,000.
Yes.
What time was that money sent?
It was sent on date 28th May 2023 at 9:24 p.m.
9:24
p.m. Yes.
And what time had you sent the money to the deputy governor?
The last transaction I made at the first transaction I made it at 8:33 p.m. 8.
Then an hour later, he sent money to the same Lucy, that is the MD of Guasco,
Yes.
the very company where you had applied and were shortlisted
Yes.
for a position.
Yes.
Now, the deputy governor says that that money was sent erroneously, but interestingly, to the same person that he was meant to bribe. What do you say about that?
I don't know what to say, but this was that transactions, but I actually believe this was a bribe so that he could.
In your previous discussions with the deputy governor and your father,
Yes.
were you aware if Lucy Wahito was the person who was meant to be bribed by the amount of money you were giving?
Actually, I did not know the name, but I know it was going to be given to the managing director.
Yes.
Now, who happens to be Lucy White.
Meant to be Lucy.
Yes.
Thank you. Did you ever secure that employment at the Guasco company?
No, I didn't.
You did not.
Yes.
Did you make follow-ups with the deputy governor or your father, making an inquiry over the same?
Yes, I did. We made constant follow-up through my dad, the deputy governor, but we did not receive any communication.
Now, Dennis Mukaya Misati,
Yes.
your own father, biological father, your mother will tomorrow appear before Senate and they will label you as a liar. Why would you want to go against the statements of your own father? Why would your father be lying about the purpose of the money sent to the deputy governor?
Actually, this is my life. That was my money. This was my lifetime savings. If my dad chooses to choose friendship over the truth, then let it be so.
Thank you. As
Are you done with the witness? Because it's breaking down.
we can pause for just 30 seconds. I'm sure he can
All right.
recollect himself.
Sergeant at Arms, kindly take care of the situation in the public gallery.
Can we proceed, Mr. Dennis? kindly tell the honorable senators what is the current relationship you have with your parents as a result of this?
Actually, I don't have anything against my parents. The fact is that this was our lifetime savings with my family. We have built this, we had built this business for the last 13 years. Now, this was our opportunity to sell the business and get something that we could help the family. But we lost everything. After I lost everything, the parents at home became unsupportive. So we had to leave our home so that we can find somewhere where we can start all over again.
And how did that affect you as a couple, between you and your wife?
Just hold, Council. Senator Boni, what is your intervention? And just to remind
Mr.
honorable
Speaker,
senators, you'll have an opportunity to engage the witness. So I hope you, whatever you want to raise, has got nothing to do with seeking clarification or asking questions.
Mr. Speaker, purely on humanitarian grounds, I was requesting that you use standing order number 1 to allow the young witness probably 5, max 10 minutes for him to recompose himself. You can see, Mr. Speaker, sir, the witness is completely emotionally eroded.
From the council, the witness is doing pretty well. That's why they're proceeding. Otherwise, that application can only come from the council, not from you, Honorable Senator. Proceed, council.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I urge the witness to gather courage and proceed. Mr. Dennis.
Yes.
How has this ordeal affected your family life between you and your wife?
Initially, my wife was not in agreement that we sell our family business to relocate. So I had to persuade that she agrees with me. We shall get better after we secure that job. So we agreed, we relocated to our home. So after we were disappointed, after we had not secure the opportunity, recruitment was done, people reported. So it was so stressful. My wife did not take it easy because he branded me a liar because now we have lost the family business. At that time, my wife was expecting. This was after 12 years of trial. My firstborn is 3 years old now. We had tried for all that period, but now she was expectant. Actually, during those hard times, my wife miscarried. Just miscarried.
I can stop at that.
So the whole blame came back to me because initially she was not in agreement to sell the business. We got into much stress and depression. I had to look for a way to sort out this issue. We had to leave home. We had to look for elsewhere so that we can start over again, as I said.
Thank you. Yes. You have also made allegations against threat to your life. Kindly tell us how that is the case.
So after I knew appointments were done and actually there's no job, there's no vacancy, our savings are all gone. So I actually, this one of my friend I've been following on social media, called, by that time it was 2020, I was first been following him since 2020, 2020-22. Now he was now the elected MCA of Ichuni Ward. I actually approached him. I inquired if he could help for me to secure the money that I did what I gave to the deputy governor.
And that is the move of this motion?
Yes.
What did the move of the motion advise you to do after you brought this to his attention?
So when I reported this to him, he took it as a joke until I provided the documents. He requested for the M-Pesa statement showing the transaction. Actually, I did. Then he advised me to make a formal complaint so that he can follow up with the deputy governor for my refund. Actually, I knew he was doing it so that I can get my refund. I never knew he could just reach this far.
So it was not your intention for you to find yourself as a Senate
Yes.
On the impeachment charges. Have you ever received your money back?
No.
Have you made any follow-ups in any government agency to recover your money?
So after I left home, I relocated to Nairobi, I made a complaint to EICC of the same.
Have EICC summoned anyone in respect to this issue?
After making the complaint, they summoned the CEO of Kisii Water,
Who is that?
Lucy Waita.
So Lucy was summoned by EICC
Yes.
pursuant to your complaint.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, sir, I think I want to stop at that and yield the witness to my learned friend for cross-examination. Thank you.
Counsel for the Deputy Governor, it's your turn now.
Good afternoon, Mr. Misati. I said good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Okay. Now, I want to start with a few preliminary issues. From the cross-examination, you say you've seen the response by your father and your mother.
Yes.
Yes. And you see that their position is that they were refunding money they had borrowed from the deputy governor.
Yes.
And what did you say is your position about that position of your parents?
Sorry?
What is your reaction to the point made by your parents that the money was a refund of a loan that had been given to them?
Actually, it's a lie.
You are telling this and
Yes.
it's a lie?
Yes.
Okay. Now, in your affidavit, you admit readily that your father and the deputy governor have been friends for many years.
Yes.
That's a fact.
It's a fact.
Okay. Do you know whether they were borrowing each other money over the years?
Yes, they have been borrowing money.
They have been borrowing.
But I can actually say the deputy governor has been the one who's been borrowing money.
Listen to my
Yes.
question.
Yes.
You admit that indeed over the years they have been borrowing each other money?
Yes.
Okay. Now, it is also true your father and the deputy governor have agrovet business in Kisii, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have agrovet businesses?
Yeah.
Both of them,
Yeah.
separately? It's not a joint business, it's each of them is running their own business, isn't it?
To date, no.
Sorry?
To date, there's no business.
Okay, they used to run?
Yeah, they used it.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
okay, sorry about that. And it is also true that they used to borrow each other's stocks?
Yes.
Okay. And so your position is that in respect to this specific point that Mr. and Mrs. Misati have borrowed money in November, October 2022 is a lie. Why do you having admitted that they borrow each other money, what makes you distinguish this one of this refund of money borrowed in November, October 2022? What distinguishes this exchange?
So my reason is that I was, as he said, we were giving a refund.
Yes.
I was not involved in their transactions at first.
Okay.
I have come from Nairobi
Yes.
to Kisii
Yes.
for my first time over a long period of time.
Okay.
So here
So just, that's okay for me.
Yeah.
So you admit that you do not know what their transactions were?
The one I sent to the deputy,
Yes.
I know.
Yeah, so let's go back again to my question.
Yes.
My question is, what is the basis, having admitted that they borrowed each other's stock, they borrowed each other money, what is it that distinguishes the case of this 500,000 that Mr. and Mrs. Misati are saying we borrowed from Monda in November and we are refunding him in May 2023?
All along on their borrowing business,
Yes.
I have never been included.
You don't?
But in this case,
Okay.
I am.
So could the record of the Senate then reflect that your point is that you're asking for your money, but you wouldn't know whether or not they had borrowed each other in November 2022?
Actually, what
You know whether or not they borrowed each other in November
that was not a borrowing.
Sorry?
It was not a borrowing that we are not
Your
refunding.
position is that they didn't borrow each other in November?
I don't know.
You
but
don't know?
At that time.
Okay, then let's leave it there because that's what I wanted you to confirm.
Yes.
Whether you can say for a fact that they didn't borrow each other or you don't know. Now, you say also that in your affidavit, I've seen quite a number of paragraphs where the communication was between your father on your behalf and the deputy governor, isn't it?
Yes.
You have your affidavit there? Honorable members, I am referring to page 17 of the Deputy Governor's bundle. Page 17, please. You have your affidavit there?
Yes,
Yes. Could you confirm that paragraph 5 is information you received that got to you through your father, and it was not a conversation directly with the Deputy Governor? Paragraph 5, you said that in early 2023, my father had learned through Deputy Governor of job vacancies with Kwasco. That's what you've said.
Yes.
That information came to you through your father, isn't it?
Yes.
Not a personal conversation with the Deputy
It
Governor?
was through my father.
Okay. Let's go to paragraph 6, please. In paragraph 6, you said that on 21st April, while I was working with a company known as Together as One, finance as marketer, my father brought to my attention. That information also came to you through your father. You did not talk with the Deputy Governor?
It came through my father.
Okay. Let's look at paragraph 9. In paragraph 9, you said that the Deputy Governor called us to his home in Kisii within days of being informed by my father about the post and before the interview was carried out. You can see that?
Yes.
That also came through your father, not directly between you and the governor.
It's all the communication was done through my father.
Okay. I would like you to look at paragraph 11D. 11D. At the next page. Are you at D?
Yes.
You said Kenya shillings 250,000 was sent to Dr. Monda through my father's Safaricom line. That is also information in the hands of your father, not you personally, isn't it?
This was the information from my father.
Thank you very much. And lastly, paragraph 17. You said that you informed your father of intention to report the matter to EACC, and your father told Dr. Monda, and Dr. Monda was upset.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Now, having gone through that, could you confirm that you, in terms of the whole of this transaction, you've not had a direct conversation between yourself and Dr. Monda, and that you would tell your father to communicate with Dr. Monda?
All the communication was done through my dad. I've never
Your
had
father?
any direct communication.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Could we also confirm that apart from not having a personal conversation with Dr. Monda, you did not have a telephone conversation with him?
It's true.
No telephone conversation?
Yeah.
And no oral conversation. Now, did you say you've been to Dr. Monda's house only once? Did you say that when you are being led in evidence in chief?
In his office?
Yes.
Yes,
Sorry, I mean his house.
in his house or home?
Let's start with his house.
House, we went on the 28th of May.
I understand that.
Yes.
I'm saying that was the only time you've gone there?
That was the first time I went there.
That was the first time?
Yes.
What does it mean to say first time? Have you subsequently gone there?
No.
Okay, so it's the only time,
Yeah, it's the
even
only
as you
time.
stand here today?
Yeah, it's the only time.
Okay. Now, it is also your testimony that on that date of 28th, when you remitted the sum of 249,000, Dr. Monda and your father were seated at a distance talking as friends,
Yes.
and you were separate from them.
Yeah, I was with my other brothers.
You were with your other brothers. How many
Yes.
of them?
We were with my other 3 brothers.
So you are 4 brothers?
We were 4.
Okay.
Yes.
At a distance. Okay. Did you participate in the conversation between Dr. Monda and your father?
No,
Did
I
you, for
didn't.
instance, say, no, it was on a Saturday, or did you make any contribution? Did you participate in that conversation at all, one way or the other?
No.
Okay. Okay, now, it is your case that the money belongs to you.
Yes.
Okay. It is also your admission that you do not know whether your father owed Dr. Monda any money.
Sorry?
So, as you stand here before the Senate,
Yes.
your position is that the money belongs to me, Dennis, isn't it?
Yes, that was my money.
Simultaneously, you cannot say for a fact, from where we've just come in cross-examination, that Joseph Misati, your father, did not owe Dr. Monda any money. You cannot say that.
If they had, I didn't know.
Just
about
answer the
it,
question
yes.
I've just asked you.
Yes.
You cannot say for a fact whether Joseph and your mom or Dr. Monda any money. You cannot confirm that.
I cannot confirm.
Thank you. Now, let's go to paragraph 10. We will come back to the other paragraphs. I had paragraph 10. Honorable members, I'm referring to page 18 of Deputy Governor's bundle, page 18, paragraph 10. In paragraph 10, you say that I and my father voluntarily gave him Kenya shilling 799,000, an amount meant to secure me a job, believing him as deputy governor with influence over Kwasco, which is an entity of the county government, which he deputizes as head of government. That's what you stand by that statement, isn't it?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And so if this were a court, you would be ready now to be sentenced, isn't it? You are admitting you're a criminal.
I'm not admitting, I'm not a criminal.
You're saying, I gave out a bribe. Aren't you saying that here? Huh?
Actually, this, I can say that.
Oh, paragraph 10, you're saying you gave out money with the intention of getting a job. Isn't that what you're saying? A bribe with the intention of getting a job.
I only succumbed to pressure from the big office. And,
Your state of mind aside, all I'm saying is you are admitting before the Senate that as you stand and as you testify and even as you complain, you are saying I am coming with first of all an admission that I'm a criminal, isn't it?
I'm not.
Haven't you said you're a criminal here, that you are giving out a bribe?
This was,
Or you think giving a bribe is not a crime?
at first they called it a facilitation fee. Others call it tea. I don't know. Now you are calling it a bribe.
Who complained to Honorable Sioja, who has been peddling this story that I bribed? Isn't it you? Isn't it you who has been saying I bribed and I didn't get a job?
I told Honorable Siocha, I gave.
So then I want to move on from this point then. Are you then now telling the Senate it was not a bribe, it was a facilitation? Are you repurposing the name of this 799?
That's how he called it.
It was a facilitation, not a
That's how he
bribe?
called it, yes.
Not a bribe?
Yes.
Okay. Now, your hope was, and it was somewhat a gamble, was that if I give out 799, I'll get a job. That was the state of your thinking, based on what you brought to the Senate.
Yes.
You are gambling that at least this 799 will fetch me a job, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I said you are gambling with getting a job, isn't it? You are hoping to get a job?
Yes,
Okay.
I was hoping, yeah. Okay.
Now, may I ask you as a general proposition, is it true that you by nature engage in gambling?
What do you mean?
That you are a gambler?
That's not true?
It's not true.
Yes.
Okay. Say that again. Are you saying, you swore to say the truth, isn't it?
Yes.
Are you swearing that by nature you are not a gambler, you don't bet?
Actually, betting is a yes, sir.
So you gamble. You gamble on the job and you're a gambler generally in life, isn't it? Okay, I would like to, honorable members, I would like to go to page 22, 21 and 22 of the Deputy Governor's bundle. Do you have your M-Pesa record there? You're relying on your M-Pesa record, isn't it?
Yes.
I would like you to look at the first page. Your M-Pesa was obtained on the 29th of January 2024. You can see that? Your M-Pesa obtained on 29th January 2024. Are you there?
Yes.
Okay, I would like you to look at the entry of the 28th of May 2023. It should be the fourth last entry from the bottom. Are you there?
Which one?
The fourth last entry. Do you want me to help you?
Right here.
You're there?
Yes.
It's true that in that entry, you had about 400 shillings and you spent about 100 shillings in gambling, isn't it?
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go to page 2. Okay, at page 2, I'd like you to look at the entry at your transaction at on the 28th of May, the same day we are talking about, at 12 o'clock. Are you there?
Yes.
12 o'clock. At that time, you had 300 shillings and you spent 200 in gambling, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
And then at 10:21 on the same 28th May, the same day we are talking about money being sent to Dr. Monda, out of a sum of you didn't have any money, you had only 34 shillings, but somehow you spent 100 shillings in gambling, isn't it?
Yes.
Then the day before at 18:51, you spent another amount, isn't it, at another 100 shillings and left a balance of 34 shillings in your account, isn't it? Okay, and I don't want to go through all this because of time, but you agree that generally your statement shows that you engage in gambling?
Yes, I do.
Okay. The same way you are gambling with the governor and the job?
Yes.
By throwing, okay, thank you. Now, I would like to move on then to the big question here. Whose money was it? Your position is it is your money, but you do not know whether Dr. Monda and Mr. and Mrs. Misati owed the money. Now, I would like us to just discuss on the face of what you came with to the Assembly and then subsequently to the Senate. It is true from what my colleague, Mr. Mutuma, took you through, that you confirm money came from your mom's M-Pesa account and Misati to your M-Pesa account, isn't it?
It's true.
And that is the money. So let's start. You received money from honorable members. That M-Pesa statement is at page 75 to 88, but with particular reference to the entries at page 87. 87, honorable members, 87, page 87. Could you, which bundle are you using?
Sorry?
Let me see the bundle you're using. Oh yeah, thank you very much. Are you at page 87?
Yes, I'm.
Okay. Could you confirm that the entry of 28th May at 2001, are you there? Entry at 2001, you must have seen that. 2001. 2001, can I help you? Next to the stamp, you can see it.
Yes, yes.
Okay. You confirm that at 2001 on the 28th, you received 50,000 from Mrs. Misati, your mom.
Yes.
And then on at 1951, you received another 50,000 from her.
Yes, I did.
And lastly, at 1944, you received 150,000 from her.
Yes.
Okay. And these are exactly the amounts you remitted to Dr. Monda, less 1,000.
Yes.
Okay. Why did you keep 1,000?
This was for transaction costs.
Okay.
Yes.
So you kept 1,000 for transaction. Now, so your mama sent you 200,000 flat. Sorry.
250.
250.
Yes.
But you remit to Dr. Monda only 149.
Yes.
And you kept 1,000. Sorry, you remitted 249 and kept 1,000, isn't it?
Actually, it was not 1,000 after now, the transaction cost.
Yes.
I don't know how much that remained in the account.
Do you know how much
It
you
was
sent?
less. It was less 1,000.
It was less 1,000.
Yeah, because of the
Now, the
transaction.
question I have for you is, did you call your mom and ask her to request her to withhold 1,000 shillings?
Sorry?
You withheld 1,000 from her, isn't
Yes,
it?
yes.
Did you request her to withhold that 1,000? Did she authorize you to keep that 1,000?
No.
And did your father authorize you to keep that 1,000?
My dad told me to send 249.
Oh, it's your father
Yeah,
who told you?
It was my father, because we were
Okay.
there with my father.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it is because you needed to cushion yourself against the expenses of this transaction, isn't it? Isn't it?
That was the...
So you were saying,
Yes.
I don't want you to incur an expense, you can keep 1,000, send 249, isn't it?
But this was...
No, we must go through this. So he told you, because that's my instructions, he told you, I don't want you to spend your money, so send 249, keep 1,000 being the charges that that you would incur with Safaricom for passing on this money, isn't it?
That's not true.
What is the truth position?
If my dad, after making the first transactions, actually my dad did the first transactions to the deputy governor. He had done a total of transaction of 100.
Let's just go back so that we don't spend too much time.
Yeah.
Why were you keeping 1,000? Let's just put it like that, then we can.
Because
Yes.
my dad had sent him 251 with an extra 1,000. You get. So I sent 249
Yes.
to make it a total of 500.
So, if this money was yours, why was your father, if this money was yours, why would your father be concerned about whether or not you would spend money to remit the amount? Why would he bother? Isn't it because it was his money and he didn't want you to go at a loss?
It was actually, he wanted to make the full payment of 500,000 Kenya shillings.
I'm
So-
saying, the reason is because your father didn't want you to spend money on his business, isn't it?
No, that's not true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll move on from there. So now, so let's say, so your position is that this money your mom was sending was your money. Is that your position?
Yes, it
Okay.
was.
Now, without spending so much time on that point then, could you confirm that you have not brought anything to show that you have not given us any paper trail to show that money came from you to your mom's M-Pesa account?
I gave the full amount, 800, to
No,
my
just
parents,
answer
not
my
my
question.
mom.
My question
So,
is,
yes.
we have paper trail, we've traced how
Yes.
money came from your mom and into your account, then to Monda, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've shown us EACC documents and so on and so forth. I'm saying in the same way you are so diligent, you've not given us, with the same diligence, documents showing that on a given date, you remitted the sum of 250,000 to your mom, which is a basis for you to say this money was mine originally and my mom was just a custodian.
There was no documents.
Thank you. You
Yes.
have no document. Now, in your statement, I want you to go to page 19, paragraph 11D. 11D, are you there?
Yes.
In that one, you say 250,000 through my father Safaricom, 250,000 was remitted, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Now, let's start. This is wrong, isn't it? This is mistaken. This is not accurate. Is this correct?
This is not correct.
This is wrong.
Yes.
Okay. When did you realize it is wrong?
Actually, you know, the transaction that my dad did.
No.
Yes.
So,
After
you went to see Honorable Siwacha and told him,
that's not true. That's not what. Those are not the allegations. Let me explain.
okay.
During you actually said when we were making this transaction.
No. I don't want you to go a long way. I thought you answering my question. My question is simply this. You admit that paragraph 11D, saying that your father remitted 250,000 through Safaricom line of your father is wrong. You admit that, isn't it?
This statement is wrong.
Okay, and my
Yes.
question was simply this.
Yes.
When did you realize that was a wrong, that is inaccurate?
When I go to see my father's statement.
So you saw it for the first time when your father explained and said, no, I didn't send M-Pesa to Dr. Monda, isn't it?
You know, the initial case
No,
was...
just limit yourself to my questions. So, when your father responded, then you realized that that 250 was paid to Dr. Monda, isn't it?
Yes.
How?
The transactions was done with secretly between my dad and the DG.
Yes.
The first transaction.
Yes.
Then he came back to me saying...
No, we are talking
yes.
about a different issue. The question is simply that was it paid through Safaricom? No. When did I learn it? When my father responded.
Yes.
You realize, let me just put it directly to you then, you realize that the money was pulled out from cooperative bank account directly to Dr. Monda, isn't it?
Sure.
That's the first time you realized.
Yes.
Kumbe, this transaction was not M-Pesa to M-Pesa, it was actually bank to Dr. Monda's account, isn't it? Now, was there any time when you knew your money was at cooperative bank? Yourself? Okay, let's start. Did you put your money at any time at cooperative bank account of your father and your mother?
No, I gave the full amount in cash. I said
You gave the two of them in
Yes,
cash?
yes.
No, so you didn't know they were in Safaricom or in M-Pesa?
So wherever they chose to keep it,
Now,
I did not
okay,
know.
thank you very much.
Yes.
I would like to move on.
Yeah.
You also say that your father remitted 250,000. Is that correct? Was it 250?
251.
It was 251?
Yes.
So even in that sense, this statement is also wrong?
Yes, it was 251.
Now, I would like to put it to you that the reason why you don't know that the money was from Cooperative Bank, that the money was 251, is because Dr. Monda and your father were talking at a distance, as you already told this Senate, isn't it?
That's not true.
What's not true?
You know, we live in a world of technology.
Yes.
So if I make any transaction between me and you, it's personal. I cannot tell it.
No, I think that's irrelevant. All I'm asking you, if you were seated with Dr. Monda and your father, you would have heard that your father was saying, I will give you the money from Cooperative Bank, isn't it? You would have heard that. You didn't hear that, did you?
We sat in a distance.
You at a distance?
Yes.
Neither would you have heard about 251.
Yes.
Okay. Now, so let's say, for argument's sake, that they discussed bribe. That story of whether or not this money was for a bribe or a refund would be what your father would tell you when you're leaving the place, isn't it? Because you're not seated together and discussing, please, is this work worth 1 million or 500,000 or 799 or 800? You are not there to listen to that conversation as to whether or not this money was a bribe. It must be what your father told you as you walked out, isn't it? As we've seen in paragraph 5, 6, 9, 11, and 17.
I think, honorable members, I don't see a need why.
Sorry?
I don't see need anywhere why I should go with all my sons to the DG's house or his home to pay a debt. To pay a debt, as he says, of which you could have done it comfortably from our home direct.
But they are friends, isn't it?
They are friends, yes.
And in both your affidavit and your statement, you said they visited each other severally, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. And this visit was not exception. The only distinction is that you went there with him for the first time.
It
That's
was,
the only distinction.
it was my first
Okay.
last time.
But
yes.
let's go back to the issue that I would really like the Senate to get. The question of the body of the conversation between the deputy governor and your father is an issue that you could only learn from your father as you're walking out, isn't it? Because you're not seated with them.
Actually, when the deputy governor called us, we knew what we were going to do at his home. We knew.
I will ask you again.
Yes.
You didn't hear what they were discussing?
I did not hear what
You
we
did
were
not hear
discussing,
what they discussed.
but my dad
And so you
shared.
don't know
Yes.
whether this money was for a job? Would you?
I knew.
How do you know and you couldn't hear?
Because
Because they are discussed earlier.
my father had updated us before leaving home.
Sorry?
Before leaving our home to Monda's place. Yes.
That's still okay with me.
Yes.
So it is your father who is telling you we are going to pay Dr. Monda to help us get a job. Is that your point?
Monda had called him.
Yes.
We visit him. To
That's
his place.
still okay.
Yeah, yes.
I mean, the point I'm just, the real bottom line, Dennis,
Yes.
if you don't mind, is that there is no point at which you and Dr. Monda discussed whether or not he can get you a job. All you know is what your father told you.
Yes, all the
Thank you.
communication was
Okay.
through my dad.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, let's look at paragraph 5 of your affidavit. You say that in early April 2023, my father had learned through deputy governor of a job at Kwasco. You seen that? Paragraph page 17, honorable members, page 17, paragraph 5. Are you there?
Yes.
So in early April 2024, my father had learned through the governor of job vacancies. Your position is that it is governor who told your father there. That's what you're saying.
Yes, that's my
The
position.
source of information was the deputy governor telling your father.
Yes.
Okay, let's look at paragraph 9 of your affidavit. The next page, page 18. At page 18, you said that the deputy governor called us to his home in Kisii within days of being informed by my father about the post and before the interview. You can see that?
Yes.
Okay. So, at paragraph 5, you're saying the traffic of information is from the deputy governor to your father.
Yes.
In paragraph 9, you're saying the source of the traffic is your father calling the deputy governor. The Senate is to take who initiated this discussion about the job. Is it as in paragraph 5 that it is the deputy governor who initiated it, or it is your father who initiated it as in paragraph 9?
It is the deputy governor who called my dad.
So paragraph
Yes.
9 is inaccurate?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Now, I would like us to look at paragraph 6. So, the governor, according to you, governor calls your father, tells him there's a job, and then your father tells you to scout, you use the word scout, you scouted and so on and so forth, isn't it?
Yes.
And then at paragraph 6 then, you say that on Friday, 21st April 2023, while I was working with a company known as Together as One, as a marketeer, my father brought to my attention the advertisement for job vacancies with Kwasco on its website. I downloaded the advert and applied for the post of commercial manager. Is that statement, do you stand by that statement as it is? The information, isn't
Yes.
it? Yes. When was the first time you knew? On the face of that statement? 2021st, isn't it?
From
$799 happens after you've made the application, isn't it?
after I did my interview.
After you did your interview?
Yes.
And you did your interview. I know in in evidence in Kyiv, you say the interview was on 25th of May.
Yes.
The correct position is that it was on 15th of May, isn't it?
It's when we did the interview. So
Sorry?
Interview,
Yes. It was on 15th May, isn't it?
it was around 25th.
No, Lucy says, and even you have said in other places it was
You
15th.
can see from the,
Yes, we can see from your letter of invite at page I will get the date in a minute and then probably, okay. If you could go to page 40, if you could go to page 40. You are shortlisted, isn't it? I'm just trying to locate your name. I'm sorry about this.
Check it on your
Yes, page 35.
39.
Yeah, 35. Huh?
39.
39.
Yeah, that's the list of the short list.
Yes, okay.
Yes.
So when was it? When is the interview?
26th May.
That's when the interview is.
Yes.
See, 39.
Page 39.
This is a short list of human resource manager. Why are you applying for human resource manager?
We did the same.
Could you look at page 35, please?
Page 35, yes.
Anyway, let me
Yes.
do this.
It is
I don't
20
see the date.
25th May.
Sorry?
It's on 25th May.
If you look at the bottom of page 36. Page 36, are you at page 36?
Yes.
Does it show the date at the bottom there
Yes. Sure.
of the interview?
Yes.
Okay. So when was your interview again, my friend?
This shows when the shortlisting was done, date 15.
Okay, 15.
But the interviews were held on 25th.
Okay.
Yes.
We will come back to that. But you are telling this Senate, you learned of the adverts on 21st, you made the application, you are shortlisted, and you went for the interview. Before you discuss about the bribe, that's really what I want. I want the point in time at which the issue of bribe was discussed. You're saying it was after the interview or before the interview?
After.
After the interview?
Yes.
Okay. So the interview could have been 25th May?
Yes.
Okay. Now, before that date, when the interview was done, you had not discussed raising money to pay Dr. Monda?
We had, my dad told me that it will be required,
Yes.
but at that time the deputy had not communicated.
Okay.
Yes.
And he told you around when, and I'm okay if you can't remember, just give us a
After-
general timeline.
That's around after that was around April, towards the end of April now.
Around?
April.
Around April.
Yeah, towards the end.
Sorry?
Towards the end of April.
You made your application on 21st April, isn't it?
Yes.
And you said towards the end of April, so we are looking at around 25th to 23 is when your father tells you it's likely some amount will be required to get the job, isn't it?
This April, we are talking about May. May is when we gave
Yes.
the amount, yes.
Yeah, what I'm asking you, Dennis, is when did the subject of being bribed come up?
After my interview.
After your interview?
Yes.
Okay. And you're telling this Senate the interview was on 25th?
Yes.
25th of May. And before that, the issue of bribe had not been discussed?
It was not been discussed, but we had an idea after my interview that something will be required.
Okay.
Yes.
So tell the Senate again. So you're saying before you did your interview on 25th, Dr. Monda had not asked for anything, but you, in your place, you suspected he might need.
I cannot tell the communication which took place between my father and the deputy governor.
So the first time you had communication from Dr. Monda was post-interview on 25th of May. That's the first time Dr. Monda spoke and said, please bring me 800,000, according to you, from your father.
I cannot tell because they usually talk.
Okay,
Yes.
that's okay if
Yeah.
you don't remember. But your position is that the earliest Dr. Monda spoke to you, asked about any money was after the interview.
Yes.
But before that, he had not asked for any money?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you said something I didn't know. You said before he asked you for the money after the interview on the 25th May, you suspected he might need some money.
You know, I told you all communication was done.
Just answer the question.
Yes.
You had said that earlier,
Yes.
or you're retracting it. Did you suspect that you will need some money?
To get some money, what do you mean? To give some money or to get some money?
To give him some money for the job?
Yes.
From where you sit that you knew he might need,
Yes.
but he had not told you?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so we are looking at the date of application of 25th. We are looking at an interview done on we are looking at an application made on 21st of April and an interview done on 25th May. Now, I'd like us to go to the Deputy Governor's bundle, page 256. Honorable members, I'm looking at volume 1 of the County Assembly bundle, page 256. Are you there, my friend? Are you at page 256? No, I'm looking at this, your bundle, this one.
That's volume.
Page 256, but this bundle here. Which bundle? Page 256, please. The sale agreement, basically. Are you there? $256. It is after something like this. I don't know. Mr. Speaker, am I allowed to go next to him and so that we move on as they look for the page?
Please, if you can assist, that will be appreciated.
Okay, therefore. Now, Mr. Dennis, I would like you to see the bottom of that agreement. In evidence in chief, you admit that you made that agreement on the 20th of April 2023, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Now, keeping in mind the timelines we've said, you applied on 21st of April, you went for interview on 25th of May, and then the request for a bribe was raised by Dr. Monda, according to you. By 20th of April 2023, when you're selling your saloon for 500,000, Dr. Monda had not told you anything about a bribe, isn't it? You are only suspecting that he will ask for a bribe.
I did not know any communication.
Sorry?
I did not know any communication from Monda to my dad at that time.
Okay, so when you're selling it...
At this time, I was not even at home, I was in Nairobi.
Yes, I know you are in Nairobi.
Yes.
And so at that time, when you're selling it, you had no communication about any bribe being required.
My dad told me we will shift from Nairobi to Kisii.
Okay.
It was necessary to make the job arrangements.
Okay.
So I had to...
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Dr. Monda, if you say your interview was on 25th of May, the issue of the need to use the money you had, the 500,000 and whatever else, came a month later, on 25th of May. This is 20th of April?
Yes.
And Dr. Monda is asking for money in, and I'm not saying he did, I'm saying according to your case, he asked for it a month later on 25th of May, isn't it?
Yeah.
All this time you're holding the money?
I was not holding the money. The whole amount I gave it to my dad. I told you they operate a business.
Yes.
So I gave them the whole amount.
Okay.
To keep safe.
So, I have the greatest respect for you, greatest possible respect for you, Mr. Dennis. But when you cry and say, I sold my saloon, you are selling saloon from your own mind that a bribe might be required. Dr. Monda is not the one who told you, I need money, and when you are selling it, it was not because Monda told you to sell your saloon.
As I stated earlier, I did not know any communication
Yes.
between my dad.
So why are you crying?
Where is
Why are
my-
you crying and
okay.
it's not Dr. Monda who told you to sell your salon or
Okay.
forced you to sell your salon?
Where-
He had not told you to give him any bribe.
So where is my business? Where did it go to?
Yeah, that, when you sold it on 20th, Dr. Monda had not spoken to you, had he?
Okay, where are the proceedings?
Okay,
from the
anyway,
sale of
I
my
think I've
salon?
made my point to the Senate.
Yes.
I'd like to move on to a different issue. And I probably just want to finish because I know you need, your colleagues need time. So you said Dr. Monda also threatened you, isn't it?
Yes.
That's the other count against Dr. Monda. Now, we are agreed, Doctor, you never spoke with Dr. Monda at any point on phone, isn't it?
Every communication was done through my dad.
Your father.
Yes.
And so even the threat came through your father.
No, this was, it came through now, it's Honorable Siocha, whom had reported the issue to,
Yes.
and told me to write a formal statement.
No, I don't know if you are mixing the issues.
Yes.
We are talking about being threatened.
Yes.
We are in agreement this far that there was no communication between you and Dr. Monda. Every time you needed to communicate with Dr. Monda, you do it through your father, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the question is, you, at a certain point, labor under the feeling that you have been threatened. That feeling was communicated to you by your father, or by whom, or by what?
You know, when I told my dad I want to make a formal complaint, he was not of the idea.
Please just answer the question
Yes.
directly. It is your father who told you.
Yeah,
Dr. Monda is very upset and has threatened your life.
He did not say, okay, I got the information from my dad,
Yes.
and also got
So
some
the
information.
Senate can then rest and say, knowing that the point that you are threatened was communicated to you by your father, that it came from Dr. Monda, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, now that's good enough. I want to move on from there. Now, look at paragraph 17. I have two last issues I want to discuss. Okay, first of all, paragraph 12. You have nothing to show that any 300,000 was given to Dr. Monda, do you? Other than saying it, other than word of mouth,
No.
you don't have.
Yes.
And your witness for the point that 300,000 was given to Dr. Monda is your father, Mr. Joseph Misati, isn't it?
Yes, I was with my
He
dad.
was. And he will come and testify and say, I was with my son when we gave Dr. Monda the money.
Yes, I was with him.
Okay. Now, let's move on to paragraph 17. You say, I informed my father and the deputy governor of my intention. No, paragraph 15. You say that I thereafter wrote a demand letter to the deputy governor. Could you confirm that in the totality of the documents you brought, you've not given us a copy of that demand letter?
What I did after the complaint to the Honorable Siocha, Wycliffe Siocha?
No, I'm just asking.
Yes.
We have documents here which the Senate is looking at, as you've seen we've gone through. That letter is not amongst the letters. There is no demand letter, isn't it, that you've brought to this Senate or to the Assembly, isn't it?
I gave the copy to Honorable Siocha.
And so you
why
don't know, it's Mr. Siaja, Honorable Siaja will explain it, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Then you reported to EACC, isn't it?
Yes, I did.
Now, I would like you to, honorable members, I want to refer to our bundle, DG's bundle, page 16, where the letter of EACC is. Now, could you confirm that this is not the letter of complaint? This letter at page 16. Why do they keep taking away the document from you, Dennis? Okay, you're at page 16. So page 16 is a letter dated 6th of February 2024, delivered to the EACC on 20th of February, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Now, in that letter, that's not the letter you used to make your complaint, isn't it? This is a follow-up letter. Let's just go direct like that.
This is a follow-up letter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you brought this Senate a copy of your letter of complaint tabulating the issues you have complained against Dr.
The complaints were recorded.
Yes.
And there was no end document given.
So you
Yes,
have
yeah.
nothing to show it?
It's only the recording that they did at the ASCC.
Okay.
Yes.
And you have no reference number?
There was no reference number given.
Now, this Senate is investigative in this kind of matters and might want to know whether that report was made. Could you tell this Senate What day did you make this report to EACC?
It was before this.
No, I'm saying, so you were prepared to make this case. You're saying you reported to EACC. Could you tell us, was it on 14th of February 2023 or 16th or whichever date? Could you give us a specific date? Or you don't have a date?
I cannot remember the specific date.
Now, if this, which place did you report this to?
AICC.
Where?
Integrity.
Integrity House.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your statement is at Integrity House.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So if the Senate wants to summon somebody to confirm that, who did you record your statement with? Give us a name.
Oh, I don't know the name, but after I made,
have the name either.
After I made the complaint,
And just answer the question directly so that we move. You don't have the name. You don't have a name.
Yeah, I remember she was a lady, but I don't remember the name.
Sorry? You?
She was a lady.
She was a lady.
Yes, but I don't
right-handed
know.
or left-handed? Or you don't know?
I cannot tell.
Okay. But
Yeah.
you don't know the name, you don't know the date,
Yeah.
and you have no copy of any bit of any complaint. Okay. I would like then to move on to a different issue as I close. What is your wish from this Senate? Your wish is that you get back your money. Is that what you want the Senate to say? What is your wish?
You know, my wish as a young graduate
Yes.
is just a representation
Yes.
of the exploits that
No,
the
you
youth are
cried
going
about
through.
your money, you cried about your money, and so is it your point that you want the DG to be punished, you want him to lose his job, or you want refund of your money? What is it you want the Senate to
When
do?
I complained, I made a complaint to the...
You're not answering my
Yes.
question.
I wanted back my money.
You want back your money?
Yes.
And your expectation is that this Senate will tell the DG to give you back your money?
So,
Okay, so let me ask you differently.
Yeah.
Have you filed a civil suit
Sorry?
for refund of your money?
No.
And is it your interest that your father's friend be punished? Is your point that I want punishment for him, or that's not your interest? Your interest is money or punishment?
My interest is not only money,
Yes.
it's my long-term savings that I've made over the period of years.
Yes, that's the same point. You want
Yes.
money. Yes.
Yes, and this is just a representation of the youth.
Yes. So I'm asking
of
you.
the exploits we are going through, these politicians who ask favors in return of jobs. So I'm just a representative of the youth.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you've come to represent the youth in making this complaint.
I actually say yes,
You've come
and if there are other youths out there who have
So you've
not,
come here on behalf of the youth.
sorry,
You have come on behalf of other youth.
this was on my.
Please answer my question, yes or no. You've come on behalf of other youth.
It's both.
Okay. And your
Yes.
tears this afternoon is also for the rest of the youth.
It was my lifetime savings. It's for the baby I lost.
Now
through
let's
this
look at
process.
page 15 of the DG's bundle, which is your letter of complaint.
Which?
Page 15 of that same bundle. Page 15, honorable members. At page 15, you've said the only are you at page 15?
This one.
Yes, that one, yes. You said, I have written to you because the deputy governor is acting with impunity. I believe as a member of the county assembly, you are in a position to assist me by disciplining him through the county assembly. All you've come is to punish him. You're not even interested in your money and your salon. You're only interested in him being punished, isn't it?
Punishing him means it's a refund, and to see.
Have you asked for any refund in any of either your affidavit or your statement?
I wrote actually to him to get a refund to complain the money he took for me.
Okay.
Yes.
I will move on because I just want to use the last thing I want to explore before I hand over to my colleague is page 13. If you could go to page 13 kindly, the second paragraph, page 13 of the DG's bundle, honorable members. Are you there at page 13? Paragraph 2, you said, the brief facts are that in April last year, 2023, my father relayed some information he had received from the deputy governor about an advert on Kwasco. You can see that?
It's on page.
Page 13, please. Page 13. Are you at page 13? Your letter of 19th December. Yeah, this one.
This one.
So I'm inviting you to paragraph 2. Are you at paragraph 2?
Yeah.
The brief facts, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, could you confirm this is what you wrote? The brief facts are that in April last year, 2023, my father relayed some information he had received from the deputy governor. You can see?
Yes.
Now, this letter was written when?
The letter I wrote
You wrote this letter when?
December.
December, 19th December.
Yes.
So taking paragraph 2 for its full meaning, it means you wrote this letter last year, 2022.
Sorry?
Taking this paragraph 2 for its full meaning, it means the brief facts that are that in April last year, which is 2022, isn't it?
I think there was a mistake in typing. It was the same year.
This is a mistake.
Yeah, it was the same year.
And you're telling
Yes.
this assembly,
Yes.
they should have read brief facts of this year, 2023.
Yes.
Who wrote this letter, you or Honorable Sioja?
I'm the one who wrote.
Who wrote
He
it?
told me to write a formal complaint.
I put it to you that it is true that this letter was backdated to all these events. Is Honorable Sioja came to you and said, we are looking on behalf of the governor for a way to remove the deputy governor. And we know you have an issue with him. Could you please do a complaint? And then the two of you then backdated the letter to 2023 when we were already living in the year 2024.
Actually, honorable members,
Yes.
there was no backdate.
You deny
there was no backdate.
you deny that you're not a weaponized youth.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I want us to go then, since you say that, to page 14. Are you at page 14? At page 14. I would like us to look at paragraph C. Are you at paragraph C? Are you at paragraph C, please?
Yes, yes.
Yes. At paragraph C, you said 50,000 on 28th May through my M-Pesa, and then after that statement, you said, and next year to unmarked DMM4 is a true copy of my M-Pesa statement, printout reflecting the said transaction. Can you see that?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, I attached my M-Pesa statement.
You attached your M-Pesa statement?
Yes.
You attached it to the letter of 19th December 2023.
Yes.
So you had an M-Pesa statement on 19th of December, which you attached to that letter and sent to Sioja, isn't it?
The one I sent to Sioja.
The one you are relying on in this Senate, isn't it?
This is the one I gave to, I gave this statement.
Okay, so
to
let's
Sioja.
look at the
Yes.
annexure then. I would
Yes.
like you to go to page, I would like us to go to page 22. Page 22 of that same bundle, the Deputy Governor's bundle, actually page 21, sorry, your honorable members. Are you at page 21? Are you at page 21?
Yes.
Is it true that the date of obtaining this M-Pesa statement was 29th January 2024, as we said a few minutes ago in my cross-examination?
It's true. This
It's
is
true,
when-
29th
yes.
April.
Yes.
So when you are saying you are touching it,
Yeah.
and it is December 2023, this M-Pesa did not exist, did it?
I gave the first I gave the M-Pesa transaction. The first one I made, I printed through Safaricom.
Yes.
Again, he called me, said he had misplaced the statement.
I put it to you that you're
Yes.
lying.
I'm not lying.
You're not lying.
Yes.
Where is that statement you had as of December 2023?
Now that's I gave to Sioja.
So Sioja has,
Yes.
so Sioja has,
When I made a formal complaint, I attached my M-Pesa statement. I attached my interview application.
so
Yes, all the
you are saying you gave
documents.
Honorable Sioja
Yes.
a statement, an M-Pesa statement
Yes.
that existed as at 19th December 2023.
Yeah.
And it's not this one.
Yeah.
And this is not the annexure you put there.
This is
It's not the annexure you gave Honorable Sioja.
This is another one I printed again. Yeah.
And that other one that you had is not, you've not presented it anywhere, have you?
The
It's
first
nowhere in the whole of your case, isn't it?
The first one I gave it to Sioja. I told you. Yeah.
Sioja frustrated your case by doing that. I put it to you again, that the truth of it is that you wrote this letter in post 29th of January 2024. You carelessly said, I am enclosing an M-Pesa statement, which then buried your case by showing that indeed you are deep into the year 2024.
That's not true.
This statement shows that indeed this statement dated 19th December by yourself and stamped by Honorable Sioja on 21st February is backdated.
I'm not getting the whole sense in it because
You're
I
not
told
telling
you.
me.
Yes.
All I'm saying is, you write a letter dated 19th December. You say I'm enclosing an M-Pesa statement.
Yes.
The M-Pesa statement turns out to have been on 29th of January 2024, long after 19th of December, meaning you did not have this M-Pesa statement on 19th of December.
That's what I told
Which
you.
in
yes.
effect means you wrote this letter after 29th of January 2024, and both yourself and Honorable Sioja, backdated it. You backdated it to 19th of December and prepared a stamp with Honorable Sioja dated 21st of December 2023.
That's not true.
That's not true.
Yes.
I will, anyway, it is true from where we stand. Honorable Speaker, I would like my colleague, Mr. Kevin Michuki, to ask a few questions, probably about 10 minutes, and then we are done. Thank you.
Senator Gloria Ruobo, what's your intervention on this? Council, just hold.
Mr. Speaker, I wanted to intervene when senior counsel was there because we are following the proceedings, Mr. Speaker, and I feel that they are not allowing for the witness to answer. So if they can just allow for the witness to answer, because we are also following, we are not getting the...
Very well noted.
Yeah, they are badgering the witness.
That is passed. Senior counsel has already concluded with the witness. Counsel, proceed and ask your questions.
Perhaps, Mr. Speaker, sir, before council addresses you, we were cautioned that we have 4 hours. Just for guidance purposes, do our 4 hours include the cross-examination session and time consumed?
Yes, counsel for the county assembly. Remember, the directions given was that you've been given 4 hours wholesome, which means it's inclusive of your examination in chief, cross-exam and re-exam. So you have so far, I believe, we started at 2:30, or rather 3:30. You've done almost 2 hours of your time.
Then to that effect, would there be equality of arms? And I'm guided by your directions, Mr. Speaker, so that then the defense does not eat into our time, because that could be their strategy as well. And we still have 5 more witnesses aligned. But they get directions as to how do we get equality of arms in that respect.
Proceed mindful of the time that is provided for the county assembly as well as the defense, as we will deal with it as we progress. Senator Okoli.
Thank you. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika. Yangu yalikuwa kwamba lazima nipate mwelekeo Mheshimiwa Spika. Viongozi senators walio hapa si vyema wao kuchukua nafasi kana kwamba ni mawakili ama wawakilishi wa either washukiwa ama washtakiwa katika mswada huu Mheshimiwa Spika. Wawache kesi iendelee jinsi inavyopaswa.
Resume your seat, Senator Okoli. Yes, Senator Sifuna.
Perhaps, Chair, then the indication would be, I don't know if in the program there was specification of the amount of time to be taken in cross-examination, so that we have a fair idea of how much time is left for cross-exam. Even the counsel of the DG, I'm sure would want to know how much time he's playing with.
As earlier on indicated, the intervention, or rather the time that was given at the point of starting these proceedings was that 4 hours is availed to the county assembly. The 4 hours was wholesome. That means you divide that time with regards to re-exam, cross-examination, and examination in chief. However, let's progress. Be mindful of the time. We will appropriately give instructions at that time, but be mindful of that time and occasion as you proceed. Council, proceed.
Mr. Speaker, sir, Members of the House, for the record, I am Kevin Mishuki, appearing for the Deputy Governor. Good afternoon, Mr. Misati.
Good afternoon to you.
I'll start you off by first inquiring. Are you a resident of Kisii County or Nyamira County?
I'm a resident of Nyamira County.
Nyamira County.
Yeah, I come from Nyamira County.
So if someone was to tell us you are a resident of Nyaribari, Chache, they would be lying.
It would be a lie.
It would be a lie.
Yes.
If Mr. Siochi, who moved the motion at the county assembly, was to say you are a member of his ward, that would be a lie.
It will be a lie.
Okay.
Yes.
You've indicated that you are working and running businesses in Nairobi County.
Yes.
When did you move back to Kisii or to Nyamira?
After I did my interview.
No, April, March.
It was April. It was in the month of April, yeah, last year.
April 2023.
Yes.
Okay. And then when did you go and meet the DG?
I met him at his home on 28th of May.
Of May.
Yes.
And that was the first time that you met the DG or went to his place?